$5 a month. And all of you who do become a donating member of at least $5 a month, because of your act of generosity to just donate without really receiving a service other than the free content, you will get a 10% discount to all my readings. And that's my way of also sharing gratitude here and supporting me. And that 10% discount only applies to that $5 donation tier because you're opening up your heart, you're opening up your wallet to just give me $5 a month. I would love to give you a discount on my reading and services. So here we go. I wrote this on Friday, took me all day, and I posted it Saturday, the 11th, January 11th. Saturn and Neptune dancing between eras. 2025, a year of endings and beginnings. 2025 is a year of endings and beginnings. We are guided to awaken the warrior in our hearts, to walk the path of our desires and dreams. This year, ghosts from the past may return in various ways, whether they are skeletons in your closet or remnants of vibrations existing in the memories of your DNA or brain tumors you dealt with already. People may be vulnerable and prone to shapeshifting or possession, entering rare forms of consciousness. A channel is being created to guide healing and correcting of old karmas. All the while, the warrior within is taking over with passion and impatience to become the master of your reality. It will be a time of truly discovering what is meant to what it means to fight for what you believe in. Saturn enters Aries May 24th till September 1st. Saturn will retrograde and re-enter the sign Pisces, eventually moving forward into Aries by February 2026, and will remain in Aries for the next 2.5 years. Neptune enters Aries March 30th till October 22nd. Neptune will re-enter Pisces, eventually moving forward into Aries January 26, 2026, and will remain in Aries until the year of 2039. These two planets moving back and forth from the 12th sign of the zodiac to the first sign is why I titled this article Dancing Between Eras. Understanding Piscean energy. Pisces is the final sign of the zodiac and is deeply associated with themes of karma, cycles, suffering, and sacrifice. This sign embodies a complex array of emotions and experiences that often revolve around the collective unconscious. It represents the culmination of the spiritual journey, where individuals confront their past and their emotional weight they carry. In the context of suffering, Pisces is often seen as the archetype of the martyr, the one who bears pain for the sake of others. This is exemplified in the figure of Jesus Christ, who is often viewed as the ultimate representation of Piscean energy. His life and sacrifice epitomize the themes of unconditional love, compassion, and selflessness. Jesus' passion and crucifixion symbolize the profound suffering that can lead to redemption and spiritual awakening. Jesus had Uranus, Neptune, Sun, Venus, Saturn, and Black Moon Lilith all in Pisces. The Piscean energy encourages individuals to confront their own suffering and the suffering of others. It invites a deep empathy and understanding of the human condition, often leading to feelings of victimization or martyrdom. Those with strong Piscean placements may feel an intense drive to alleviate the pain of others, sometimes at the expense of their own well-being. This duality is a hallmark of Piscean energy, where one must navigate the balance between self-care and self-sacrifice. Moreover, Pisces governs the concepts of oneness, urging individuals to transcend the ego and recognize the interconnectedness of all beings. This spiritual awakening often involves facing one's subconscious fears, guilt, and shame, elements that can feel like purgatory before achieving a higher state of consciousness. As we transition through the Saturn-Neptune cycle in Pisces, we may witness a collective reckoning with these themes. Societal issues such as suffering, inequality, and injustice may come to the forefront, urging individuals to take action and advocate for change. The energy of Pisces will challenge us to confront these realities and inspire acts of compassion and understanding. The planets Saturn and Neptune will be dancing back and forth from Pisces to Aries. It's important to remember that Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, while Aries is the first. The zodiacal wheel consists of 12 signs and corresponding houses, representing stages of evolution in consciousness. Every time a planet enters Aries, Every time a planet enters Aries, it starts a new synodic cycle. The further the planet is from the sun, the longer its cycle. Saturn takes approximately 30 years to complete one cycle through all 12 signs, while Neptune takes 165. Saturn and Neptune starting a new synodic cycle together is rare and significant. For context, the last time Saturn began a new synodic cycle was 165 years ago, from 1861 to 1875. Furthermore, the last time Saturn and Neptune were in Pisces together was between 1524 and 1526, 500 years ago. For scholarly reasons, we should also know another occurrence from 12,000 to 12,002, 823 years ago. Thus, Saturn and Neptune in Pisces together is a very rare cycle. And as we transition from the previous two cycles, they will cross into Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, nearly hand in hand. Historical context of Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. Out of respect for Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, let's delve into the two previous times they were together. In the years 12,000 and 12,002, the start of the 13th century, the Fourth Crusade began with the signing of the Treaty of Venice between the Crusaders of the Doge of Venice, Enrico Dandolo. The treaty provided transportation and supplies for a Crusader army attack on Egypt. At the same time, Manco Capac, the first Inca emperor, oversaw the construction of the city-state of Cusco in Peru, marking the beginning of a significant civilization. From the 16th century, 1524 to 1526, Spanish conquistador Francisco Pizarro began his expedition that resulted in the fall of the Inca Empire, forever changing South American history. This period also saw the uprising known as the Peasant War in Germany, where peasants demanded freedom from nobles and landlords, resulting in the deaths of around 100,000 peasants. The symbolism of Saturn and Neptune. Saturn represents traditions, authority, discipline, and structures such as government and corporate systems. In contrast, Neptune embodies transcendence, spirituality, belief systems, and the subconscious mind. The interactions between these two planets highlight a tension between traditional values and emerging new beliefs. From May 24 to September 1st, 2025, Saturn will be in Aries, while Neptune will be in Aries from March 30th to October 22nd. These months will be crucial for tapping into personal truths and forging paths in life. Expect significant changes that may push you out of your comfort zone, inspiring you to stand up for what you believe in. Just like how I came to terms that my old world structure was made of false belief systems and trickery that I consented, and co-created, I then decided to walk away from all of that and step into the great unknown, going to Arkansas. The sign of Aries, new beginnings, and the warrior spirit. Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, is synonymous with new beginnings and the pioneering spirit. Ruled by Mars, Aries embodies the essence of the warrior, instinctively reactive, courageous, and unafraid to face conflict. This sign represents raw, authentic individual expression, encouraging people to embrace their true selves and pursue their desires with vigor. Excuse me. As we enter a new synodic cycle with both Saturn and Neptune in Aries, we are stepping into an era where individuals are called to rise as sovereign warriors in their lives. Aries inspires us to take initiative, break free from limitations, and actively shape our destinies. This energy is characterized by a fierce desire to assert oneself and to stand boldly for one's beliefs and principles. Saturn's presence in Aries will introduce a sense of seriousness and sobriety regarding our attitudes and actions, especially in the face of the mundane imbalances present in global society. This influence will urge individuals to take responsibility for their choices and to confront the challenges they encounter with maturity and discipline. Those who may have previously shied away from conflict may find themselves compelled to engage and advocate for change. Because Saturn is a worldly planet, it is also likely that individuals will have to learn to come together to face the challenge of the corrupt governing systems of our world. Conversely, Neptune in Aries will ignite a passionate fire in the hearts of authentic and aware individuals, encouraging them to recognize the divine spark within themselves. This energy will summon the bold courage necessary to fight for truth and justice, inspiring a collective movement towards liberation and transformation. The combination of Saturn's grounding influence and Neptune's visionary inspiration creates a powerful dynamic that can lead to significant societal shifts. Historically, we can look at the American Civil War as a poignant example of this dynamic. During this tumultuous period, the entrenched belief systems that dehumanized enslaved individuals were fiercely challenged. The conflict represented a critical turning point where one part of society clung to traditional views of superiority and oppression, while the divine fire of justice and equality sparked a new beginning. The Civil War marked a profound shift in social consciousness, paving the way for a more equitable society in the centuries to come. As we embrace the energies of Aries, we are called to channel our inner warrior, confront injustices, and advocate for a world that recognizes the dignity and worth of all individuals. This new era invites us to embody the courageous spirit of Aries, standing up for our truths and fostering a society rooted in compassion, equality, and empowerment. This will be a very hard and scary period for people who cannot wake up and see the truth and rather cling to their delusions and lack of maturity and conditioning. The interconnection of historical events and the Piscean themes. The Fourth Crusades and the rise of the Incan Empire, juxtaposed with the fall of Rome and the eventual decline of the Incan Empire, reflects the profound and often tumultuous themes associated with the age of Pisces. This era has historically been marked by idol worship and the rise of major religious movements, including Christianity and Islam, which shaped the spiritual landscape for humanity. The coming and crucifixion of Jesus Christ epitomized the Piscean ideals of suffering, sacrifice, and the quest for transcendence. During the age of Pisces, the duality of human experience has been highlighted. On one hand, the longing for unity and spiritual awakening, and on the other hand, the painful realities of suffering and disillusionment. The Crusades illustrates the deep-seated conflicts between belief systems, often leading to violence and displacements. Similarly, the rise of the Incan Empire showcased a spiritual and cultural flourishing, only to be followed by the brutal conquest that ultimately led to its fall. A cycle of creation and destruction that resonates with the karmic themes of Pisces. In our modern context, we observe a striking parallel with the plight of refugees displaced by war, persecution, and economic strife. The global elite often prioritize profits over people, perpetuating systems of oppression that mirror the historical conflicts of the past. As we navigate through the Saturn Sun transit, there is a growing awareness of the need for a spiritual awakening, one that calls for spiritually sovereign individuals to reclaim their truths and connect with our galactic history, including the existence of non-terrestrial beings. Many are beginning to realize that society has been trapped in a dream spell, preventing us from fully realizing our divine potential as a species capable of remarkable feats. As Jesus Christ indicated, we are all capable of performing miracles, perhaps even greater than those attributed to him. Today, we are witnessing what can be described as a holy spiritual war. The pervasive presence of satanic symbolism in movies, music, and media reflect a strategic attempt to invert and pervert humanity's consciousness. This manipulation serves to deepen the disconnection from our true essence and communal unity. The duality of Neptune in Pisces embodies both the potential for unity through Christ consciousness and the descent into suffering and sacrifice, illustrating how this period is also fraught with deception, illusion, and disassociation. Amidst the attacks on humanity, whether through environmental degradation, food and water poisoning, or other insidious agendas, there remains a profound disassociation in society. The weight of the reality we face is often too intense for many to bear. Thus, they cling to the illusion that all is well, without a true collective uprising to defend humanity. We remain divided by superficial ideologies surrounding race, gender, and other dialectical narratives. This fragmentation prevents us from recognizing the urgent need for solidarity in the face of a global spiritual war. As we navigate this complex landscape, it is essential to remember that the Piscean themes of suffering and sacrifice also pave the way for healing, unity, and spiritual evolution. The challenge lies in transcending the illusions that bind us, empowering ourselves and each other to rise above the conflicts that divide us, and embracing our shared humanity in the pursuits of a higher collective consciousness. A conclusion, a call to action. The previous periods I mentioned, the 13th century and the mid-16th century, were deeply transformative. The last time Neptune was in Aries 165 years ago, coinciding with the American Civil War, a time of great societal division and conflict over slavery. Aries, being the sign of the warrior and new beginnings, symbolizes the fighting spirit to live authentically. In 2025, as Saturn and Neptune enter Aries, we can anticipate more conflicts arising from differing beliefs and perspectives. This year invites us to embark on a journey of self-discovery, ending cycles of suffering passed down through generations. People will have to take a lot, excuse me, people will have to take a look at the deep wounds in their subconscious mind and realize how they have been manipulated. For example, the issues with transgenders. There is an obvious deep psychological wound in many of the people who see many of the people we see who believe they are women when in fact they are biologically men. This is what I mean about perverted and inverted belief systems. They advertise to our children, influencing them to believe in things they yet to understand, when deep down there may actually be some sort of trauma or illness. Same goes for spiritual communities. For example, people chasing their own twin flames only to be disappointed that the other person does not accept the true flame identity, yet somehow the spiritual person will still cling to the belief that the other is their twin flame. This is a delusion. And for the record, the whole transgender thing, I believe there are true and real authentic transgenders. I'm talking about the agenda using transgender identity politics and trying to influence children, medicate children, castrate children is fucked up, and where there are actually biological men that think that they can get pregnant and have periods. This is a delusion. This is a distortion. This is not a disrespect to any and all transgenders. There are things that are not right about this whole thing, and there's an over sensitivity about talking and trying to point out anything about this. So I'm just trying to come from a compassionate, loving place. I know transgenders. I'm friends with transgenders. I have a transgender sibling. I don't think they're all mentally ill or retarded, but there are things there, and we need to collectively come to this point where we can realize that there are things happening in this phenomenon, in this movement. Continuing on with the article. The nodes of fate, a call to spiritual awakening. In January, the nodes of fate will shift into Pisces and Virgo, with the north node in Pisces and the south node in Virgo. The nodes govern the accumulation of karma from the past, including past lives, and they illuminate our destiny and the unknown terrains of future lessons. The South Node serves as a gateway to past life experiences, while the North Node acts as a guiding light, encouraging us to overcome karmic patterns and embrace new experiences for spiritual evolution. The North Node's placement in Pisces will conjunct Neptune and Saturn in Pisces before they transition into Aries later this year. This alignment literally opens portals for the accumulation of karma linked to the themes of service, sacrifice, and disassociation, allowing these energies to interface with our current events. The phrase, "it will be biblical," reflects the gravity of this moment as we collectively navigate a crucifixion, a processing of centuries of historical narratives that have shaped humanity. From the rise and fall of great empires, including the Incas, Mayans, and Aztecs, to the injustices faced by the Aboriginal, the indigenous peoples, the echoes of these events resonate within our DNA. Each man, woman, and child on this planet carries the weight of these memories. The year 2025 presents a climatic period for spiritual cleansing and reclaiming our power. Unlike previous eras, we now have access to vast information through the internet, making it increasingly difficult to deceive or manipulate the masses. As awakened individuals shine their light, we are moving closer together as a species, fostering a collective consciousness that seeks truth and justice. The Peasant War of 1524 serves as a historical reference point, yet today's context is different. In America, we are equipped with the rights enshrined in the Constitution, such as the Fourth Amendment, the right to bear arms, and the First Amendment, which guarantees freedom of speech. While citizens may not have access to military-grade weaponry, the potential to resist and fight for justice remains. It is essential to note that while we may not be destined for bloodshed or civil war, the intensity of conflict will be palpably felt across the nation. This moment is a race against time for humanity to awaken from the dream spell, a collective liberation from the perverted inversion of the Masonic satanic matrix paradigm. As we navigate this transition, it is crucial to focus on uniting as a collective force, transcending superficial divisions, and recognizing that our true power lies in solidarity. The challenge is to harness the transformative energy of the North Node in Pisces, embracing compassion, healing, and spiritual growth while confronting the shadows of our past. Be brave, be bold, and embrace the historical transformations that are about to unfold. Many structures will be recreated, and this is your call to participate in the shaping of a new reality. P.S. These articles and posts will soon